lesson 69, part 7. In the previous part we talked about the left shoulder controlling 15 things, but I just want to spend a little bit of time with you understanding how the hips work within the golf swing. And as a result of good hip rotation, the way that your legs, your knees and your feet work are part of that package. So it's a domino effect. The shoulders affect the hip turn affects the legs, the knee flex and the weight shift. Okay, so in its simplest form, if I stand in front of you with good posture and put the club across my shoulders, hopefully that club is relatively level with the floor or horizontal. So this is the primary motor skill of the golfer. The shoulders turn, and I always go with the left shoulder to the throat. So I'm looking at the camera, I'm turning the club to your left, it's left of you. And then I come through and the right shoulder gets the club to the right of you. Okay, so that's the primary skill. When the shoulder coils, the torso twists and my hips are pulled through about 45 degrees. Now, when I lean forward, the same rotation has a slightly different effect. So let me turn sideways to you. If I make my shoulder turn in the horizontal, it pulls my hip through 45 degrees. But I think you can see that my hips are rotating in a parallel horizontal plane. However, when I tip forward towards a golf ball, that same rotation causes the right hip to rise and the right knee straighten slightly. Now, a lot of people at that point think that the hip lifts. It doesn't. It's just rotating in an upright direction. Please don't fall into the trap of stack and tilt and think that the right leg should straighten and rise and the weight favour the left knee. That's complete and utter nonsense. Okay? When we coil properly in plane, and I'll show you the horizontal plane, when I coil in plane, my knee behaves thus. On an inclined plane, it behaves a little bit differently, but it's the same type of rotation. Now, in the old days, I used to show this with a comb. I don't have a comb anymore, and this doesn't work with a sponge. But there's a strip of paper folded. Imagine that's your shoulders, your hips and your feet. Okay, so if I twist the top of this piece of paper by 90 degrees, look how beautifully the whole thing operates. And there's no stress, you see. Okay, I've only got to have a slightly poor posture, but a bit of Colin Montgomery, it doesn't work. And you're down the chiropractor on Monday morning. Okay, so if the posture is true, and the shoulders twist at the on the right axis, physically and mentally, you have not to think about anything. So from the chest down, your chest, your core muscles, your torso, your hips, your legs, your knee flex, your feet and your weight shift, they're all for free if the posture's good and the shoulder turns. Okay. So, I'm going to hit a golf shot for you. I'll do it in slow motion going back. I just want you to watch the behaviour of my hip and my knee. So as the shoulder coils, left shoulder to the throat, in slow motion, the shoulders pull the torso and therefore the hips. And I get to the top of the backswing, the right knee has moved back a little bit, but it hasn't locked and it hasn't lifted. Okay, so do it in slow motion again. I'm going to load the shoulder to the throat. I'm going to coil. And everything from the chest down is for free. That's what it will look like. Okay, and from there I can hit the shot. Caught it a little bit thin because of the pause, so I can't finish on that one. I better hit you a decent one. And if you're wondering what the scientific reason was for that shot, it was that I missed it. Okay, so there's the preparation. Left shoulder to the throat, and as I coil, the hips also are pulled into the action. Now I can hit the shot. That was better. Okay, so if your grip and posture are good, your shoulder turn gives you 15 things. One of those things is the way that the hips behave. So hopefully you're happy that as the shoulders coil, the hip is dragged through about 45 degrees. And you don't have to worry about it, it happens for free.